this video, we will understand the student records as a module in core modules in Fedena. The student records module is used to enter and maintain any type of details about students that are specific to a batch. It can be personal data about students, health records, extracurricular activities, or any other information that you want to keep a record of. For example, institutions can continuously record and track the immunizations students have received throughout their entire academic career. These records are attached to a student's profile so the information is easily accessible when required. So let us understand how can we create these record groups. We can find student records when we go to academics and this option of student records. It is a core module. When you click on this, you will see you will be able to create and manage record groups using this option. After creating record groups, you can assign them to the batches, and then using this option of student records, you will be able to add the kind of records that you created for each student. Let's go to record groups and see how the record groups can be created. For this will be empty for the first time. It shows few record groups that I've already created. But let's say that this is empty and we want to create a new record group. So I will take an example here to create a record group. So here we will click on add record group option and it asks us to give the name of the record group. So let's say that we want to store the health information of the students. So I will give the record group name accordingly. So the record group is created by the name health information. Now here I have to go to manage records to see the information that I want to store in this record group. So currently it says there are no records that are added for health information. So I will have to add a record, and here what information do I want to take regarding health is to be added. For example, it can be height. Now the input type of height, it can be a single line text, multi-line, multiple options that you want to give, date or a file attachment. So in this case, it is a single line text. So we will give like this, and the height will be only numerals. So we can give that option. If you want to give a suffix to this record, we can give that. If it is a mandatory field or an optional field, that can be chosen from here. So let's say it is a mandatory field that has to be filled in for each information of a student. So we will create this. Like this, I can create multiple records in this record information. So here again, I can select these values, make it mandatory and create it. So let me add one more. So this will be, let's say, multiple line text. It can be mandatory or optional again. And then we have one more. Let's say it is an attachment, and we can choose input method to be attachment. So for each student, I will be able to attach a file for this record. Again, let's say it is mandatory, we can create it. Now we see that for health information, the record that we created, we have 4 fields inside it. So it would be the height, weight, allergies, and the health certificate. Now here we will go to manage record groups one level back, and we can see all the records that we created come here. So the groups come here. Health information is the one that I just created. Then I have self-awareness and health status, which I've already created. Now let's see what we see in the settings option. In the settings option, you will be able to rename the record group name that you have given, and you can make it inactive if you do not want it to assign to the batches. So if you delete this record group, then it will permanently remove the student record information of all the associated classes and batches. So since it is a new record group, and if we want to delete it, we can go for this option of deleting. But if this record group is associated to students and you have put in information for each student, then deleting it, the information will not be restored. You will not be able to revert the information back if you use this option of deleting the record group. So here we can see now we've created the record group. Now let's see the other option that we have, which is classes and batches. This is where you will be able to assign record group to a batch that you have. To do that, you will see the classes that do not have record groups here. And for a batch, you will be able to assign more than one record group to it. So here you will see all the batches appear. So here, for example, you have grade 2, and it shows the grading system that it follows, and you can assign record group to it. So here I will click on assign record group, and I'll be able to assign the record group of the one that I just created, let's say health information. You can assign it to all the active batches of this class, or if you want to select the batches, for example, here this grade 2 has A batch and B batch. So if you want to assign it only to A batch, then you can select it. So this is how you'll be able to assign the record groups to the batches. So here, let's say I'm assigning it for both the batches now. And also you can check this option of auto assigning to any new batch that I create inside grade 2. In that case, it will automatically assign the record groups to the students, but you will have to fill in that information of each field inside this health information that we've created. So now we've assigned it. So we can see that grade 2 has also two assigned batches are there. So this is how you'll be able to assign. Now let's go to record groups. We can see from here as well that it has got one record group that is attached to it. So for this grade, it is one health group that is attached, and also you can assign more. So for one course, you'll be able to assign more record groups to it. You have to click on assign record group and you can select another one. So let's say we want to assign self-awareness. Again, we can assign it to all the batches. So it shows this. Now for grade 2, for each and every student that is in grade 2, for whom we have selected this record group, we can enter the information of health information and self-awareness for the student. To do that, we can go to this option that is student records. And this is where we can see here that grade 2 is there. Click on view batches to see the batches, so A and B. And this has one student, this does not have any student. Let's add records for the student. We'll go to add records, and this is the student. We can see, click on add records. It will show you both the options that you have, which is health information and self-awareness. So we have assigned two record groups for the batch. That is why both of them appear here. Now we will click on the first one and you'll have to enter the information against it. We can mention some information. We can choose a file as health certificate. So it can be any type of file, but it should be below 5 MB. So that is the size limit that is allowed. So like this, let's also put in for self-awareness some information. This has to be put in by the administrator only. So the student will not be able to put in this information for himself. He can only view it. In case of any changes, he can send an internal message to the administrator to change it. So this record, once you put in, you can also edit them by using this information and save it. So this is how you will be able to fill this in. You can do this for both the record groups. If you have many record groups, you can choose the same from here to show the one that you want to put in. So the other one will disappear in this case. Now we have filled in the information of this student. Now let's see how we will be able to view this information if we want to. So you have to fill in the information like this for each student. So currently you have to do it using the Fedena user interface. You have to open each student and select the record group for which you want to enter the information for the student, fill it in. Now to view the information, the student and the parent and the administrator will be able to view it when they go to the profile of the student. So this is the profile of the student. We can see all the details about the student here. And under more, you will see this option of student records. This is where the records that we've just filled in will appear. So you can see for this student for which we have seen the profile, it shows the health information and the self-awareness information. I can also download this certificate if I want to. So this is the attachment that I just got. It can be downloaded. So this is how you will be able to view it for the student. Now this is the profile. From the profile is where you can see the student records information. Also, this module, student records, is integrated with the examination module for the purpose of generating the CCE detailed report. So if your institute follows the CBSE board guidelines, then this will be useful. You will be able to associate the student records with CCE detailed report. If you want to see how to do that, please see the video by the name Fedena CCE examination grading system. There in the settings, we can set up and associate student records in the detailed report.